Hello, spooky friends, and welcome to another episode of Storytime with the Scaryish podcast.
Woo!
I'm Rom Grace, this is Adam Diaz, and we are
Hello.
here to read some homegrown horrors. Adam, can you tell us what those are?
Homegrown horrors are stories that you folks have sent in that are either yours, friends, family, or something you've heard you sincerely believe. And those stories can be stuff that's spooky, terrifying, coincidental, sleep paralysis. It can be spooky. Shout out to M Meadows89 who just resubscribed using Twitch Prime for the 16th month. Also, quick shout out to the Snark who did the same exact thing before we went live. And I'm What's for Dinner who resubscribed using their own money for the second month. So thank you all.
And said, what did they say?
And their message was the only channel worth subscribing to. So if you have a story that's similar to what I just described, it can be funny, coincidental, scary, whatever. Please email storytime@scaryish.com or go to our website, scaryish.com, and click on Contact Us. Send it to us that way. Of course, you can always hit us up on any of our social medias. That's what homegrown horrors are. That's where we can find them. And if you want to be like these wonderful folks who are watching us live at twitch.tv/scarishpodcast, just join us Tuesdays, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or you can go over to youtube.com/Scaryish. But if you do the Twitch thing, and you already have Amazon Prime, you can go to twitch.amazon.prime, I think, something like that.
I'm pretty sure it's just twitch.amazon.com.
There you go. And
twitch.amazon.prime.
Once you link your...
What?
It's really hot in here. My brain is melting. Once you link your accounts, you get 5 free dollar dues out of Jeff Bezos' pocket once a month. You can give it to any channel you want. And according to I'm What's for Dinner, this is the only channel worth subscribing to. So
wow.
Give it to us. That's all I'm saying. That was a lot of stuff. I decided I was going to do most of the intro because you just got done running up the stairs and you were nice enough to bring me water, which is very sweet of you. Shout out to Ghost Java Bean who just resubscribed for the third month in a row using their own money. It says, what's the message there? Scary no way?
Oh, it's an emote.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's why.
Thank you.
This will be the no way emote, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, good stuff. I'm excited. We have 4 emails. We have one very short, one kind of long, and then 2 medium to longs. I took the short and the long one, so
all right.
I think I usually send them your way. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
Let me see.
I think you should go first, because if I go first, it'll be a really, really short one, and then it'll like immediately be on to the next one.
All right, so this first one that I'm going to read is titled UFO Sighting.
I'm excited. My mom, Spooky Mom, told me that there was one in here about a UFO, and now we're starting out with it, so yeah.
All right.
Strap in, folks.
It goes. I don't hear much in the way of UFO experiences on Scaryish. You may feel free to read the story on the podcast. That's what we're doing. Important to hear the backstory first. So, Fort Carlson, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Huge military installation approximately 2 miles from this sighting. So it just keeps saying it's spooky.
I think that was the last one.
Okay, cool. So
it's important to know, though, that this is very close to a military base.
Yeah, so 2 miles from this sighting. In February 2012, I picked up my young son, then 13 years old, from basketball practice around 6:30 p.m. and stopped off at a fast food restaurant to feed the teenage eating machine. Because that's totally the age, too, where you start...
Growing boy.
Puberty, everything's like just going haywire, you want to eat everything.
I'm still a grown boy. I've been growing since I was like 9 years old.
Prior
to changed directions. Sorry. Started growing horizontally instead of vertically.
Oh my goodness.
That's not a boner joke. I mean, I'm fat. I guess it could work. It would be vertical if you're laying down. I don't know.
You're just getting way too into it.
I am.
All right.
I'll let you go.
Prior to this event, my son had a bad habit of distracting people driving, as he had not had even a learner's permit at the time and did not understand the importance of focus with driving. Totally understand that. I was probably the worst kid to drive with, maybe.
Oh, you think?
Why? What?
30-year-old Robin Grace still likes to put her hands on my face, like grab my face and my man boobs and my belly, put her hands like all over me while I'm driving, which is loving, don't get me wrong, it's nice, but sometimes she'll like cover my eyes and I'm like, we're gonna die.
You got a lot to touch.
Thanks for that. Growing horizontally, not vertically.
Anyway, the sun was setting and radiant last rays peeking over the mountains adjacent to Pikes Peak, Colorado. So sun, and I'm assuming it's like where you're getting glare still from the sun peeking over the mountains as it's going down. I'm What's for Dinner redeemed a question and said, the question must be asked Adam, pants or no pants?
I am wearing pants today.
Well, shorts, same thing.
They're actual, not like undies, and I'm not freeballing it on the leather chair. I'm wearing pants, so.
My son, in a very alarming tone, shouted, "Dad, look at that!" Well, that's not an alarming tone, right? Dad, look at that!
Better. I like that.
Oh, yeah?
That's a good second read. Good for you.
I was somewhat irritated that he was, once again, distracting me from safe driving. Expecting to reprimand him, I looked over to the passenger side of the truck to see my son sitting there, his mouth agape, pointing to an enormous saucer-shaped craft hovering over the treetops. He was unable to speak. I pulled over to the shoulder of Highway 85, southbound, and this is so detailed.
It is.
And sat there, silently, unable to process what we were looking at. We sat in stunned silence as a dull, matte-colored, massive, saucer-shaped object hovered above treetop level, with colored lights spinning around the perimeter of this object. Silent, no sound, not a single tree moving. That's pretty creepy.
That is terrifying.
When it comes to military bases, though, I feel like they're always testing new technology.
Right.
And they're not telling people about it because they don't want plans stolen by other governments or something like that.
Wouldn't it be nice if they just kind of let the local community know? Like, we're going to be testing out some experimental stuff. We can't tell you what it is, but if you see something strange, don't freak out, you know?
Yeah, that's true. It moved slowly eastward for approximately 10 seconds until it just disappeared. It literally just blinked out. I don't even know how else to describe it. I'm assuming it's just like went into hyperspeed or whatever.
I think it activated its cloaking
like,
device and was just like, boop, it's gone.
Maybe. Well, you never know. It's a UFO. We can't really say, right? To reference the size of this object, I would compare it to a nearby Walmart frontal view. That's huge.
Imagine seeing a flying Walmart.
That's huge.
I would believe that something existed because Walmart is everywhere and it's terrifying.
Isn't there one of those stories? No, about the IKEA. What are those things called? SCPs about the IKEA. Oh yeah, they're totally. Maybe there is an SCP about a flying Walmart. Who knows? All right, so the object was longer than that, so longer than a Walmart, and at least as wide, perhaps 35 to 40 yards in diameter. That is effing huge. That's almost half a football field. Several children stopped at the convenience store to watch this highly unusual object sitting on their bicycles as stunned by its presence as we were. We left the scene, unable to articulate the experience until later that evening. Please note, this craft was moving from the direction of the military base eastward. Could it have been a secret craft? Perhaps. I don't know what it was. I am a Navy veteran and never saw anything like that in my own military experience. I had a very cheap cell phone at the time and was so shaken that I wouldn't have been able to get a picture at the time of the sighting. I will submit a sketch of this sighting to the Facebook page, which I have collaborated with my son from his perspective what it looked like. Love you guys, Robin and Adam. Keep up the good work. I found you on Spotify about 7 months ago. I have a few other stories I will submit when time permits. Sincerely, Boyd.
Right on.
Thank you so much.
That in, Boyd. Also, shout out to Spotify. I really like getting information about unidentified flying objects, particularly because they're very detailed, and there's very rarely limited amount of witnesses. There's usually several, if not more.
But when it comes to seeing something so big, how are there so little witnesses, you know?
I just said the opposite of what you just said. There's always a lot of witnesses.
Oh, I thought you said little.
No, there's never an opportunity. God damn it. There's always a lot of witnesses, is what I'm saying. And I appreciate the fact that the stories that we have gotten, it's like someone with a bunch of their friends, and they weren't the only ones that saw it. And in this case, like
kids saw it, this person,
and the kid,
yeah.
and more kids by a convenience store all saw it, and it's just bizarre.
And it wasn't making any noise. The trees weren't moving. I just think that's really weird.
I don't know.
Someone posted Someone posted a video of like this ball lightning thing going across a railroad track just the other day.
I've seen it everywhere. I saw someone saying that it was fake. But, I mean, I think that's just a knee-jerk reaction to seeing anything that looks incredible. But someone did point out that the way the sparks fall off of the Transformer when it gets struck by lightning...
That wasn't realistic?
...is like CGI, or not CGI, but manipulated, where it's something that it's like superimposed on top of the image, because it's not falling the proper way sparks fall.
When I first saw that video...
It is definitely very realistic looking.
When I first saw that video, I was just like, it's Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's so funny.
Because it's just this blue ball of lightning, and it like...
I was like, that is the slowest Kamehameha I have ever seen.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
this is like a Krillin Kamehameha. Or a Yamcha Kamehameha, if you could even do one.
Yamcha's worse than Krillin.
He's just such
No offense, Yamcha, but...
No, I mean offense. I'm pretty sure I could take Yamcha.
Sweet-ass
Fuck
bitch.
you, Yamcha.
Oh my god.
Sorry, that was kind of mean. He's actually kind of a nice guy, I guess.
Well, when they met him in Dragon Ball, he's
just pathetic.
So pathetic.
Really? Because I'm pretty sure that's the entire character of Yamcha in Dragon Ball Z, too.
Oh, yeah. But when they first met him, it was just bad.
That's why I like DBZ Abridged so much. The way they make fun of Yamcha is just on point. All right. That was a good first one. Thank you so much for sending that in, Boyd. We're going to move on. So this next email, which is my first of the show's, subject is sleep paralyception, which is a weird concept, but I'm into it. Sounds like the sequel to Inception. Yeah. And it starts out like this. Good morning, or fudge me. Good evening, Adam and Robin. Good evening. Robin's not going to say it back.
Good evening. Laura Ann redeemed ridiculous voices.
Oh, God damn it.
So, have fun with that one. I was thinking of voices in the car, and on my way back home from school.
Oh, I was like, what is a car voice?
No. I was thinking of voices in the car on my way home from school, and I was like, what voices would I want to do tonight? And
you know what my voice in the car usually is? What's this fucking piece of shit doing? Just out loud to myself or anyone who does literally anything on the road. I'm so angry when I drive.
So, I don't know. Oh, maybe do like a Jersey Shore type voice.
I don't want to do Jersey Shore.
Southern?
All right. Oh, imitation of Christopher Walken. That's a good suggestion from I Am Beef Trainer.
All right.
I don't know if I'll be able to do a full minute, and I don't know if I'll be able to do this full email like this, but I'll give it a shot. This one time, when I was sleeping, I had a dream that I woke up into sleep paralysis.
What?
I was fighting in my dream and was able to talk. Except the voice that came out of me was not mine.
Thank you so much, Dre, for subscribing for 7 months.
This is the worst thing you've ever done. I tried praying, but I couldn't say... It was praying. Fuck. I tried praying, but I couldn't say any prayers. That's as far as I'm going to go.
All right.
I did manage to say out loud in the other voice, Saint Michael, save me. Then I started breathing heavily and was able to move again. I then woke up from my dream again in sleep paralysis. So they woke up in their dream... So they were still dreaming and they had sleep paralysis. They were able to escape the dream, woke up into the real world, and woke up into sleep paralysis.
Haven't you had that before?
I'm reading this correctly.
Like you've woken up in a dream to wake up in another dream?
I've woken up in a dream for sure, but I wasn't in sleep paralysis, where I thought I was awake and then I realized I wasn't. So this person woke up from the dream into the real world, we think, and is in sleep paralysis, and the story continues. This time, I couldn't fight it, and I couldn't speak at all. I started repeating, Saint Michael save me, in my head, and after the third time of saying it, I was pulled out of sleep paralysis. After I woke up, I quickly jumped out of bed and sprayed some sage water and lit a sandalwood incense. I know this isn't that long of a story, but I hope you enjoyed reading it. Sincerely, your fan, Armando, a.k.a. Mondo Alba.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you for sending that in. And this is very similar to a story that one of my friends had sent in.
Okay.
About when he had sleep paralysis, and I think it was the only time he hallucinated seeing something. And he said the Lord's Prayer, and he kept repeating it until it broke him out of it.
That's what my mom always says, too. If you see scary things, just repeat. I mean, it's Buddhist stuff, but same thing. It's the same gist.
Right. Use what you believe in to try and drive away the evil if it's scaring you. So... Good stuff, Mondo Alba. Thank you for sending that in. We appreciate it.
Cool. So, this next email is from Austin, and it goes like this. I was 15 years old in a small town in Wisconsin, living with my mom's boyfriend at the time. It was a newer house in the middle of the woods, so growing up, I was always the type of kid to be shy, and I wasn't very sociable. But as I grew older, I always had a sweet spot for horror films and documentaries. Samesies. If a horror movie came out, I'd watch it. If someone recommends a good horror film, I'd watch it. The one thing I'd always keep placed in the back of my head was everything I watch wasn't real. I never actually believed in any nonfiction films because the thought of spirits and haunted objects never really scared me or got me frightened. I always just thought it was a very interesting topic. Until one night. My sister's boyfriend was asking me if horror films scared me or if I believed in any spirits or any paranormal activity. And I said no. I just enjoy watching stories, but I don't believe that stuff is real. So he recommended the game Slender Man and that I should download it and play it. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm wondering where this is going because the whole Slender Man thing, it's like everyone knows Slender Man's not real, but at the same time, people are like, no, Slender Man is real, you know?
If you scare yourself enough, you might make him real, you know?
Yeah. You know?
In your mind, who knows?
At the time, I'd never heard of Slender Man, so I downloaded the game, and in the game, you're in first-person view, and you just toggle switches to walk around the misty and foggy forest trying to collect scrolls. I think the only one I've ever watched is the one where they're walking around the forest and then there's pictures or drawings of Slender Man that you kind of collect.
You're like collecting pages off of random places, and some of them have sayings and some of them have pictures. So I've seen a couple playthroughs, and they're always really, really funny because people are so scared by it.
You have to try to be very careful and try not to turn too sharp or walk into a little hut too fast. You have to collect a certain amount of scrolls, and if you make any mistakes, like turning too fast, he will appear right in front of your face with a loud screeching sound and kill you.
There's like static on the screen too.
Yeah,
and
the static.
The static and the sound of static starts to settle in when he's near you, so you instantly start to panic.
Sometimes you get a chance to escape by turning quickly or seeing him in the distance and rerouting your direction. So I did some research, and I was attached to this like it was at the top of my to-do list. I then played the game for 5 nights straight, and I'd get home from school, continue to watch stories about him, and read people's stories. I went through this whole thing where the original Slenderman videos, I watched like the whole series of them. And
it was like a TV show or like a YouTube series.
It was like a YouTube series, yeah. And I went through this whole thing. I went to the different channels because it was on different channels too. It's like it went from one channel to a different channel. It was really strange. But I had to watch them all. And some of them are scary, but some of them I'm like, really? This is it? I can't. What?
Robin has high standards, apparently.
Then, when videos just weren't enough to satisfy me, I started drawing and printing off pictures of Slender Man and hung them all over my wall. I'd take down all of my family pictures and replace them all with the pictures until my walls were covered. So on the 5th day, it was no different than the last 4 days. But it was the 5th night that changed my view on everything I didn't believe in for the past how many years. I played the game until 1 in the morning. I then fell asleep. I woke up in a little hut. I walked out the door to a misty forest in the middle of nowhere. I felt as if I was being forced, and I had no control over my body. As I walked through the forest, I'd hear animal cries and snapping branches, and I was terrified. In my head, I had no thought of what could be out there. All of a sudden, I heard constant branches snapping back and forth, and in the distance, I saw a figure step out from behind a tree that seemed to be 20 feet in the air, with a head with absolutely no features appearing on his face, but nothing, or just nothing but a white-shaped head, and a black suit and multiple arms sticking out from his sides. Sounds like a nightmare. Sounds like because you just...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
That's all you've been thinking about, so now it's like in your head. I turned around and ran as fast as I could, hearing branches snapping as he was gaining on me, and I tripped over my own feet and fell on my face. I stood up, sweat beating off my face. I was so sore and numb. I then saw a shadow appear above me. I turned around and looked up, and there he was. I turned around as quickly as possible, and before I could take one step, I heard a loud, ear-piercing noise, and he reached under my arm and around my chest and ripped me back. All of a sudden, I woke up in my bed at 3 a.m. crying, sweat beating off my face. My clothes and bed sheets and blankets were drenched in sweat with chest pain I could never explain. I then stood up and walked to the bathroom and looked in the mirror, and there I saw a handprint with crazy long fingers imprinted across my chest. I was terrified. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. That morning, I shredded all the pictures I drew or printed out. I deleted the game, cleared all the history and any evidence and any memory I had ever had of Slender Man, and completely wiped the slate clean from ever hearing of him. And that's my Slender Man story. I now believe in spirits and haunting rituals, and I still have a sweet spot for any horror topic. Nice. That's absolutely terrifying.
Super intense, yeah.
It's, but the thing with dreams, too, is sometimes it's like your dreams do affect your reality. I don't know if you did a topic on it before or where the people actually died in their sleep.
Nope, never.
Oh, okay. That's a fear for me.
I've talked about the fact that there were 3 Asian students back in the 80s, early 80s, late 70s, that wound up passing away in their sleep, and they were also terrified they were going to die in their sleep. The LA Times ran an article on that, and that article was read by Wes Craven when he was on a flight, and he wound up writing A Nightmare on Elm Street, which is, of course, the Freddy Krueger origin story based off of that. But I've not covered the topic. I've just mentioned it because that's like all there really is to find on that. But yeah, like your reality can be adjusted based off of like what you're obsessing with. You know what I mean? So I totally agree. The picture that we were sent of this is in relation to the hand mark that he said was on his chest. And here is what it was. So as you can see,
crazy.
It's a long hand.
And you can kind of see that it's not a shadow of a hand because you can see the shadow of his actual like chin and stuff like that.
It would have to be the craziest thing is that it's like consistent all the way across. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like if someone were to slap him to try and fake this, they'd have to make perfect contact with like arm, wrist, hand, and all 4 fingers, and also they'd have to have really, really long fingers.
Yeah.
So it is definitely really friggin' weird.
That is super duper weird. That is so crazy. That's terrifying.
It is. And before we move on, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And we are back.
I'm going to read my last story of the show, and the last story for the show. This one's subject is Hold Your Horses. This one is cray. Which is funny, because I've already told Robin to hold her horses once tonight. I actually don't think I even said it correctly. Starts out like this. Hello, Adam and Robin.
Hello.
Hello. I totally love your podcast and started listening at work to pass the time. Ended up listening everywhere and shared with my friends, and they loved it too. Thank you so much for showing our show to them. It means a lot. I debated sending this story because it has been part of my life forever, and I always like to share it with my friends when we are in a spooky vibe. It's so crazy and kind of long, but please feel free to share on your podcast. It goes like this. I was about 13 or 14, and me and my family moved to a new apartment to save money, and this place was known to be really sketchy, but we were very poor at the time, so we didn't have a choice. So I'm looking over, and I'm seeing that I think I'm going to be the one that has to do this ridiculous accent voices again. So which voice/accent should I do this time? This has got to be so annoying for the folks that just listen.
I don't know. Just do like a deeper voice than like deep announcer voice or something.
Deep announcer voice? I don't know what that sounds like. Can you give me an example?
In a world.
Okay, now I understand. All right, where were we? Didn't have a choice. Fuck. The day we were moving in our things, I found some weird, crusty-looking, what looked like dried red paint with some strands of blonde hair on it and a knife next to it in the closet of my and my little brother's room. My throat hurts so much from doing this voice. We had to... Nope. We had to sleep... No, I'm just going to give up. We had to sleep in bunk beds at this time, and it was terrible, but he was like 5 at the time, so it wasn't so bad, and I was in middle school. I was very curious about it, but didn't really care because, well, we were low on money, and I didn't want to worry my parents. My dad is a truck driver, and at the time, he was working longer shifts. He would be gone months at a time, going state to state, so I didn't see him as much. It was me, my brother, and my mom for a long time, and there would be days I needed to babysit my brother when she was at work. Now, to the Scaryish part. It was a long day, and I was very tired, but couldn't sleep for some reason. I tried to just lay down and close my eyes, and in parentheses they put, I sleep on my side. Same.
I Almost for Dinner also redeemed ridiculous accents and voices.
I thought we were only supposed to be doing them like 4 per episode.
I think there's...
All right, you know what's going to happen after this? Like... Principal Adam is going to have to step in and take control of this shit because Robin has just set these rules and they're absolutely ridiculous and they only happen when I'm reading, so I'm going to have to take control of it.
Everyone says Snape. What does Snape even sound like?
Snape?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do Snape. I don't know what's... It's just like...
Always.
Breathy and slow. Fuck you, Harry. I hate you. I don't know what Snape sounds like.
I don't know. Fuck you, Harry. I hate you.
That's pretty much his entire thing is he just hates Harry because Harry looks like his dad, and even though it's like... Harry's a different person. Then in the end, he's like, here, take a tear. I'm actually a good guy. Spoilers.
Aww.
All right. Everyone's saying Snape. I don't know how to do Snape, so...
Maybe it's just like
They said, LOL, perfect. All right, I guess I'm going to read this next part. We got to the Scaryish part, and now I'm going to read this as Professor Snape.
Lord. Okay.
Now to the Scaryish part. It doesn't sound anything like him.
Now to the Scaryish part.
It was a long day, and I was very tired, but couldn't sleep for some reason. Fuck you, Harry. I tried to just lay down and close my eyes. I sleep on my side. I already read this part. God damn it, Harry. When I turned my body to the other side to face my room, I saw, as clear as day, a young girl with blonde hair wearing a tank top and shorts soaked in water with her hair partially covering her face.
It was Lily Potter.
It was Lily Potter. She died.
Oh,
she
no!
She looked very pale. It's totally not a spoiler. It's how the thing starts. She looked very pale and sad and began walking towards me very slowly. I got very scared and started breathing heavy.
I think you're good.
Always.
Okay,
I'm going back to my real voice. I pulled my blanket over myself, in parentheses, as many would, thinking that it will help. And let's be real, I'm pretty sure that everyone knows the rules that the blanket is the shield and you can't go through the shield.
Right.
And started praying in Arabic since I am Muslim, and there is a prayer that can help get rid of demons or bad spirits. I think we should all learn that prayer. I was terrified and slept all night with the blanket over me. When I woke up, she was gone, of course, and I felt stupid. I always wonder if it was correlated with the weird crusty thing that I saw in my closet, and since I threw the knife away in the garbage, I will never know what it could have been. Fast forward to the following year. My dad got a job working in Texas, and we began to make bank. There's an exclamation point, and it's in all caps, so I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. Or bank. Fuck you, Ray. We moved into a new townhouse. That was like the 5th time I did that joke. It's still not funny. We moved into a new townhouse that had a pool, indoor gym, and free snacks, in parentheses, if you didn't get caught. Wow, I guess everything's free if you don't get caught. That's fucked up. It was the life, but I hated where we were and missed my friends back home in Minnesota. Go Vikings. JK, I don't really care about football. A few months into living... That's a good thing, because I hate the Vikings.
I know, but still, like, football.
A few months into living in this place, I was sleeping one night and woke up feeling really warm. I think they peed. My room was at the end of all the others, and my bed was facing the door, which opens to a long hallway. I had woken up from the heat, and as soon as I opened my eyes, I saw a dark figure outside at the end of the hallway. I paused for a moment and started breathing heavy again. I started praying while trying to grab my glasses, and I could see it running towards me very fast.
No.
I screamed so loud, my dad grabbed the metal bat by the door and ran to my room. In parentheses, we lived in an area that had many snakes, so we had a bat just in case one got in.
That's scary.
I was crying and freaking out because it looked like the girl I saw before, but now she was wearing all black. I thought maybe it was because I couldn't see, but I wasn't that blind. We found out the place we lived in Odessa, Texas, put them on blast because it sucks there, had been built on an Indian burial ground. I feel like every place that has something creepy, people always come back to Indian burial ground. We now move back to Minnesota and are trying to save money to buy a house, but every time we move, something such as this happens. The place we are in now, I was sleeping and I woke up to a super large-built man wearing all white and glowing, standing at my door. In parentheses, since I closed my door when I sleep now, he looked like a freaking bodybuilding ghost. I don't even know. He just opened my door and left. Probably had the wrong room or something.
What?
I then just went back to sleep and didn't think much of it and told my dad. He asked me if I saw his face and I said no. He told me, it must have been an angel protecting you. I was like, sure, okay, Dad.
Man,
I like how you're skeptical of your dad's explanation of this bizarre shit you're dropping on him.
Do you think angels are legit ripped, though? What if angels are fucking just...
Like the Terminator?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be sweet. That'd also be terrifying.
Just like to point out, I had to read this email at some points in Alan Rickman's voice, who plays Metatron in the movie Dogma, which is an angel, just saying. The email finishes, I now also take with me a little thing that I hang up above my door with a little prayer, and nothing has come since. Every now and then I will see something, but I am super blind now and probably just looking at my chair with loads of clothes on it. I think we can all understand that. Thank you guys for having such an awesome podcast. I listen whenever I get the chance, even when I'm walking on campus to class. I started laughing out loud by accident and people thought I was crazy. Thankfully, I'm graduating this semester, so it's all good. Hope you like my story. I have so many crazy things that have happened to me. They really should make a movie, in parentheses if any director hears this. You guys are amazing and keep on creeping on. Sincerely, Yasmin. Well, thank you so much for sending that in, Yasmin. I would just suggest you give your dad a break, because if you're dropping this heavy shit on him every house you folks go to, and he wants to suggest that maybe it's a good thing, like an angel, then, let him. Like, don't freak him out, and then, like, roll your eyes at any suggestions that he has where maybe it's not a bad thing that's, like, happening to you, so.
I just think that seeing a spirit ghost entity that is drenched in water, it just freaks me out. Because it's like they drowned, and that's why they're covered in water all the time. That just horrifies me and reminds me of The Ring. Kind of freaks me out that way. And my optometrist, the first time I ever got glasses, he told me I should get glasses because what if someone was running at me trying to mug me or rob me or assault me or whatever, and I couldn't see it. He was like, you should get glasses.
Such a weird sales pitch.
I know.
Imagine this horrific scenario. Don't you want to see every small detail that happens to you?
So yeah, I mean,
up, dude.
I got the glasses, but...
And she never, ever wears them.
I mean...
She definitely doesn't wear them during the show or when she's driving, so just two super important times.
I'm nearsighted. That's when I can't see far away, right?
I have no idea.
So driving's mostly fine for
Except
me.
at night. Or
I
when
can't
it's
read
raining.
signs.
Yeah, no big deal.
But
so, right on. One more time, Yasmin, thank you so much for sending that in.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. And we are so glad you took time out of your day to join us for the live stream. If you guys are listening in the regular episode, thank you for listening to this entire episode.
Probably wasn't that long after editing.
Thank you so much for everyone who sends in their stories. And we really hope that if you're listening to this, you folks send in any stories of paranormal, supernatural, strange experiences that you folks have had. Maybe some true crime. Maybe you got somebody actually followed you home and it was super scary. Who knows? Just let us know. We would love to share it with the rest of the Spooky Fam. And we really hope to have more people join us for each week when we record these live episodes. Which is currently Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Adam, do you want to cover the actual ways they can support us financially?
I mean, I can cover all the other stuff that you missed, sure.
Oh, all right, you can do that.
YouTube.com/Scaryish is where you can watch us, or Twitch.tv/Scaryish podcast. Did you actually do the email address and all the other stuff?
Nope.
Yeah, you can email storytime@scaryish.com if you have a homegrown horror you would like to share with us. You can also go to facebook.com/Scaryish podcast if you'd like to message us. Please join the Spooky Friends group.
And one of our listeners, Miss Deezy, would like to tell everyone to wash your hands for at least 30 seconds to make sure that no one gets sick when they go out.
Very smart idea.
Yeah.
Just wash your freaking hands. I have worked with multiple people who will take a shit, not flush, and then walk out of the bathroom without washing their hands. And as soon as I've witnessed that, I have never thought of them in a positive light ever again, because it is disgusting. If you do either of those things, stop immediately and think, you're a grown-up, just flush your waist
Ew.
and wash your hands.
Flush your waist.
I think it's hilarious that she's grossed out by that one, but the first time I referenced it, she clearly wasn't paying any attention.
No.
Anyways, facebook.com/Scaryish podcast. We got to 1,000 likes on our Facebook page, which for some podcasts isn't a big deal because you just invite everyone to like your shit. And you know what? Sometimes people just click it, but we've let people discover us. So 1,000 for us is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, thank you so much for 1,000 likes. That's
4 digits is pretty cool. It's very nice to see that it's just, it's grown on its own. It really has, and it's all thanks to the folks that listen.
Yes,
if you want to join the Spooky Friends group on Facebook, please do. It's a really awesome place to hang out, get memes, and see some creepy videos and stuff like that. You can also message us on Instagram, which is @ScarishPodcast, or you can tweet at us on Twitter, @ScarishPod. And, of course, check out Scaryish.com and click on Contact Us if you would like to reach out. If you check out Scaryish.com on the right-hand side, you will see all of our social media links. Feel free to click on those, and it'll take you to all the places that I just described. Robin, I'm going to toss it back to you. For those folks who would like to donate to us financially, how can they do so?
So if you'd like to donate to us and help keep the podcast going, go to patreon.com/Scaryish podcast. There's a whole bunch of different tiers, and they begin at $1. So not that much. There's discount codes on there sometimes. There's, I really want to start doing more stuff. We will. And then go to Ko-fi, KO-FI, if you want to do one-time donations, and those are...
ko-fi.com.
Yeah, KO-F... What did I say?
You just said KO-FI.
KO-FI.
Just yell it out loud.
KO-FI.com/Scaryish podcast. And those are one-time donations. All those donations go to helping us upgrade our studio setup. And we've been able to get new mics and upgrade our computer and do a whole bunch of stuff to keep this thing going as smoothly as possible and upgrade our streaming possibilities, things like that. And it's all thanks to everyone who's been able to donate through Patreon and Ko-fi and through the streams. Thank you guys ever so much.
Indeed. So I think that's just about everything we have for episode 108 of Storytime. So Robin, go ahead and sign us out.
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.